Oh, the talent that I'm joined by today. I met her many, many years ago when she was here in Harrow in London, and I was a little kid back then. To now, literally hosting an interview with her. I mean, Sakshi Tanwar, ma'am, thank you so much for joining me on filmishilmy.com. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Anush. Thank you for having me.
Right. Congratulations on Sharma Jee Ki Beti on Amazon Prime. It's a Prime Video rather. It's such a wonderful, wonderful film. There is obviously a beautiful story that's to do with you being a career-oriented woman, but also managing the domestic side of things. I think with you as a person, the fact that you've evolved so much and grown as a human being, how much personal experiences really came handy for you?
I think I need to learn from the role, Anuj. It's the opposite.
Right.
Because I'm not in a situation like that of my character Jyoti Sharma yet. And I have only seen women like Jyoti Verma around me. There are my friends who are working and who are, trying hard to strike that balance between uh, work and home, who have teenage kids and they're dealing with their challenges and who are trying to fulfill their own dreams and aspirations, and they're caught between all this and societal expectations, and yet they are trying to work hard every single day to make things happen
Hmm.
and make everyone around them happy. And I have seen so many Jyoti Sharmas in my life, and I have learned so much from them. I really look up to people, to women who are working and they're handling their homes as well. It's not easy, it's very tough. So, as far as I am concerned, I am still not as good as Jyoti Sharma or these women who can handle everything. I mean, I'm working, but my work is very different. It's not like a job. I can choose my work. I can shoot when I want to and say no when I don't want to. I can work around my timelines. I can work around my days that I want to give for shoot. So it's much easier, although nothing is easy when it
Hmm.
comes to handling home and work both, but still it's relatively easier for me.
Now, I have to say, from the beginning of your journey, which obviously we've seen from Kahaani Ghar Ghar Kii to then Bade Achhe Lagte Hain, now Sharma Ji Ki Beti, um, I think you've definitely been a symbol of strength and really understood the struggles and the challenges of women very, very well. I mean, of course, Kahaani Ghar Ghar Kii, although it was very larger than life and very melodramatic, of course, but they really appealed to the common woman, and it really put the struggles of what women go through societally and domestically on a platform. Do you think that by playing such roles, do you think that it's also in a way matured you very quickly as well, because it's helped you to understand that from a very innocent time of your life as well?
Um, Sometimes, not always. I mean, not all. You don't uh, take inspiration from all the roles you do. Some are purely done for the fictional value they have, and but something like Parvati was a, like you said, larger than life character. It was a bit too dramatic. uh, Priya in Bade Achhe Lagte Hain was more real, more relatable.
Hmm.
Now Jyoti Sharma and Sharma Ji Ki Beti goes a step beyond that. She's your woman next door, she's your your daughter's friend's mom, who's working, who's trying to balance her home and work and everything. So you learn, but it depends on what character you're doing.
Hmm. And I think the roles that again you have played, because like I said, they are so strong. Um, as an artist, I think when you are approached with the characters, do you always feel like, for example, there is, I mean, because I feel like especially when you have played something so as iconic as Parvati, right, or as Priya, but do you feel like there is also a way that kind of in a way sort of stereotypes them into doing that one thing? And do you feel like it's been a bit of a challenge trying to shrug that off, or you've never really thought about it in that level?
No, no, it was a challenge to begin with. You're talking about stereotypes, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yes, yes. No, it was like Parvati was iconic. Yes, but to come out of that image was one big task and a big challenge for me. Like I remember after Ghar Ghar Ki got over, I was getting roles only of uh, bahus and bhabis, and and I kept saying no, 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 and I sat at home for a good 2.5 years, and I said I'm not going to take up anything which is similar. Also, it was on air for 8 long years, and it was exhausting, and I needed that break. So I took that sabbatical, and in that, all I got offered was similar roles, which were either Parvati or an extension of Parvati. So I kept saying no, and finally, a Bade Achhe did happen, which was a totally different character. It was a more relatable and more realistic character. And then, of course, after that, Touchwood, the journey has been good because I got offered different kind of role, whether it was a 24 or it was a Mission on Mars or whether it was um
My as well.
my yeah. So then you feel satisfied as an actor that okay, it started in a particular way, but eventually people can see you in different roles, and people, when you are there, are ready to accept you in different characters.
Sure. Whenever I see the characters you play, काफी जो क्या कहते हैं मिट्टी से जुड़ा हुआ है. जो सारे characters है, even if it is obviously like a Priya from Bade Achhe Lagte Hain, which is still kind of a bit relatable, so to speak. For you as a person, and also the fact that you are very culturally very centered and you're very proud of where you come from and very aware of that. How much of that does that play a key role in you actually presenting these characters with such realism and authenticity as well?
Uh, I have not consciously thought about it like that. Like that's not the deciding factor or the guiding factor, but it does help. It does help. I mean, the kind of person you are definitely helps you portray the character in a certain manner. And that always comes across because like you feel that, you see somebody on screen and you can feel the vibe, although you may have never met the person. So that is the part of your personality that gets translated, that energy gets translated into your characters and always comes across on the screen. So maybe that's what you have felt. I
Hmm.
don't know.
Definitely. No, I think that's what it is. It's that compassion. I think I think that's the right word I want to
Yeah.
use here. It's compassion. Whenever I see you, there's a sense of compassion that I see in your characters. One thing that I like, especially in Sharma Jee Ki Beti, is that you have this dynamic with Sharib in
Yeah.
in the film. Then even if we look back at some of your previous work, like even if we look at Kahaani Ghar Ghar Kii, when Parvati was having her punarjanam, so to speak, as Janki, and she was coming back with a vengeance. She also had the support of her devar, which was Kamal. In Bade Achhe Lagte Hain, you also had the support of your father, even at times when Ram Kapoor obviously was not playing ball or when circumstances tore you guys apart. So I like the way you've presented feminism as something which is very equal. Is that what feminism means to you in real life too? Is equality?
I think we shouldn't be talking about it. Like that would be ideal.
Yeah.
That we don't have to talk about it. We don't have to present it. We don't have to label it. That would be the ideal situation where we, irrespective of our gender, can enjoy something, especially because we are in a creative field and there aren't any demarcations as such that this is a very feminist thing or this is a non-feminist thing. We should be able to reach a situation where the need to discuss this only doesn't arise. You know
Which is
what I'm
true.
saying, Anuj? But I know what you're saying, and yes, I mean, all the characters I have done have been feminists in their own right, and although they are not shouting uh,
Of the
about,
movement. Hmm.
yeah, but yes, and but in a very natural, in a very organic manner,
Hmm.
they have been presented in a very balanced and organic manner.
Yo, absolutely. No, you're very rightly said. What do you love the most about acting, though, Sakshi ma'am? I would love to know. और जब आपने शुरुआत की थी, तो I'm sure उस वक्त आपके बहुत सारे inspirations होंगे. But जब time गुजरा और your craft obviously evolves and you evolve as a human being, how have those inspirations also maybe potentially evolved as well at the same time?
अनुज जब शुरू किया था ना, तब तो आई हैड नो आइडिया. आई डिडंट नो व्हाट आई वाज गेटिंग इनटू, एंड honestly, uh, I had absolutely no idea what to do also. I would just learn my lines and say them in a particular way, which I felt was great
Hmm.
because I could remember large chunks of lines, and that was very important in a daily soap, that you should be able to mouth dialogues,
हाँ.
at a go without a break. And I was good in uh, Hindi, and I could learn long chunks, so I would do that. And I used to think, wow, like I have done something great. It was only over the years that I realized the process, the the transformation that happens while you are portraying a character between a action and a cut. And somewhere it was then that I started really enjoying the whole thing, that okay, now I can be someone else. you know it was that whole kick of getting into another character's world, be someone else, live another person's life, do the things that person would do, which you probably would never be able to do, and live an entire life. It's like a parallel universe
Correct.
where where you can be someone else and enjoy it too,
Hmm.
and go to any length and do whatever you want, whatever your character allows you to do. So it was that I started enjoying. And I also realized over a period of time that every character gives you something and takes something from you.
Hmm.
So then it sort of became like a conscious thing of which character should I do, which will really help me grow either as a person or a professional. So then it has to add value to my life. Whatever I do must add some value to my life, and that goes true for my work also.
Hmm.
So then I started thinking that okay, this is something that I have not done before, or this is something I have done before, but I want to do this differently now.
Hmm.
And that is what helped me choose my work thereafter.
Right. Such a beautiful answer. Thank you so much for that. And I'm glad आप जो आपने कहा कि एक parallel life आप जीते हो और वो बहुत सच्ची बात है. And I think that's why, like, where the perception becomes so strong and the impact that it has on the audiences becomes so strong. But Sakshi ma'am, थोड़ा सा एक profound question है थोड़ा सा. But क्या कभी आपकी जिंदगी में ऐसा हुआ है कि because एक कैरेक्टर का जो एक इम्पैक्ट है वो इतना हावी हो गया है या हावी हो गया है आपकी जिंदगी में as a question, um that you actually kind of in a way don't want to say an identity crisis, but kind of got a bit lost between the two characters. Has there ever been a phase like that in your life, and how did you deal with it?
ऐसा तो नहीं हुआ अनुज कि मतलब आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस हो जाए या आपको रियल और रील में फर्क समझ ना आए.
जी.
ऐसा नहीं हुआ. लेकिन कई सीन्स ऐसे होते हैं जिसमें आप इमोशनली इतना इन्वेस्ट करते हो कि वो सीन खत्म होने के काफी देर बाद तक भी आप पर उसका साया रहता है.
जी.
So it's not like that you take the character back home,
Hmm.
but the character stays with you. मतलब you are thinking about it, you know,
Hmm.
like माई में जैसे बहुत इंटेंस सीन्स थे,
Yeah.
और उसके बाद मुझे बड़ी मतलब अ, परेशानी होती थी, यू नो, टू सॉर्ट ऑफ disconnect for some time, because you start living that, you start giving the character your 100%, and then suddenly to switch off becomes a bit difficult.
Hmm.
So it takes a little time, but other than that, no, there is no sort of overlapping
Huh.
that has happened.
Huh. Okay, so we've been told to wrap up. The massive question, Sakshi, I'm sorry, I'm going to split it into two because obviously एक बड़ा सवाल है. जैसा कि हमने कहा कि एक compassion की जरूरत है, but I think as an artist it's also very important to be vulnerable and innocent. वो जो एक innocence है वो उसको बरकरार रखना बहुत जरूरी होता है, especially इस craft में, because it's a very human interest level of a profession. So for you, how tough has it been to maintain that innocence whilst working in a very strenuous industry like this? That's the first part of the question. And second part of the question, we are seeing such beautiful roles being written now, generally across the mediums in cinema now. What would you say are the roles that really appeal to you the most? And can we expect that after Sharma Jee Ki Beti as well?
Okay, so yeah, you're right, Anuj. It's very important to keep the innocence and vulnerability intact. If you lose that, I think you lose the charm. So that is something you have to consciously always protect within yourself. And that happens on two levels. It happens on a professional level and it happens on a personal level too.
Hmm.
If either of them go wrong, the the final output can get affected.
Hmm.
So it's very important, and you know, you can see it. I mean, if an actor is cheating, you can make out, because it is such a sensitive medium that audience, they connect to the vibe, like they connect to the vibe you are going through at the time of performing.
Hmm.
So if you are cheating there, then your scene goes for a toss. I have seen it so many times that if I fake tears and if I try to do like a drama kind of a thing कि नहीं पता चलेगा, पता लग जाता है. So that is one thing. So it's very important to keep that intact. How do I do that? I think I just try to keep a balanced thing, whether I get a whether I get praises or whether I get criticism. I try to just keep them at a distance.
Hmm.
So I try to protect myself from both, and try not to get affected by it. That
Hmm.
is how I try. And my family and my friends, they keep me very grounded. They keep me in the real world all the time. So
Hmm.
then my head is always on my shoulder, firmly on my shoulder. About the roles, about I think we are in the best times. This is
Yeah.
such a good time for actors, not only for actors, for creative people, for storytellers, for writers, for directors, for everyone who has something to say or show. It is such a good time. I mean, the kind of roles that are being written, the narratives, the different kind of characterization, the real reality of situations, everything is uh, at its best right now.
Hmm.
And there are so many options, like you have options to choose what to see, you have options to do what you want to do.
Correct. Hmm.
And touchwood, I have been very fortunate that I have been getting different kind of roles. uh
Absolutely.
yeah, so there's something very interesting that should happen after this also. So
Oh,
fingers crossed. Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, hopefully I cannot wait to see more amazing work. And Sakshi ma'am, thank you so much for joining me on Filme Shilmy. I cannot tell you how I'm grateful to Prime Video for making this happen. Congratulations on Sharma Ji Ki Beti.
Thank you, Anush. Thank you. Do watch the film.
I will definitely. I will
Yeah.
definitely. So thank you so much,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.